Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Stream Talk. I am your host, Agent Snow, on my personal channel, where we're going to be here to talk about gaming news, releases and releases. Joining me today are three other hosts. Please welcome Cannon.
Hey, what's up?
We have Sir Stendek.
Yo.
And Matthew.
Hello.
First, if you want, please introduce yourselves. Tell us about your channel, what you do. Cannon?
Do I have to go first?
Yeah.
To go first?
You have to go first.
Okay. Well, everybody pretty much knows me here. Canon, fodder, stream Dark Souls. I'm a variety streamer, though, for the most part. So, yeah, I'm just here to add... I need my green screen. No, Soviet. I'm just here to add a hoarse voice and, like a very smoker tone to this whole conversation, because I think we need something ultra sexy now that Mugla is going to sleep in this chat. So yeah, I'm just here to add my 2 cents, as little as that may contribute to the whole ordeal, but just a variety streamer. You guys pretty much know me by now.
Alright. Sir Stendek, can you tell us about who you are, what your channel is?
My name's Mike, and I'm a speedrunner. And I play right now Portal 2 and Aperture Tag. Before that, I played through Mario 3D World, and aside from that, I also am the developer of Frankerface Z, if you've heard of that Chrome extension. Well, browser extension, it's not just Chrome. And that's about it, I guess.
Alright.
I also know this weirdo in real life.
Yes,
So,
yes.
That.
Wow. So nice. Thank you. And then, Matthew.
Hey everybody, my name's Matthew. Thanks for the win on Twitch. I do a lot of Dark Souls 2 stuff, a lot of PvP, and I've been doing PvE. Occasionally I play other games on Twitch, but I mostly just kind of focus on Dark Souls 2. That's pretty much it.
Matthew also has the booty. I think we all know that by now. If you don't know that he has the booty, he has the booty. And yeah, see, Domto even knows. I mean, you gotta mention that kind of stuff, Matthew. Don't leave your important aspects out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. We're going to start... figure we'll start off by talking about what we've all been playing this week. I'll definitely start off by saying that we have been playing Dark Souls 2, been streaming that a lot this week. Due to a lot of poking and prodding by my stream chat, I went back and played Dark Souls 1. And I can just say that I cannot believe I ever thought this was the greatest game ever made once. So that was an interesting experience in its own.
I was gonna say you're dealing with you're going from playing Dark Souls 2, which the mechanics, well, I won't say all of them. Some of the mechanics that we're used to are a bit more refined, and then you go back to Dark Souls 1, and it's like playing with a fucking rock and a stick. Like it doesn't compute. You're like, why can't I run while I'm locked on? Like, why can't I do all this, or why can't I side strafe and things like that? So it's just it's night and...
Or the fact that I went to Blighttown and my entire frame rate just, tanked.
Yeah, just stare at the floor constantly. You're just play by ear, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. Friday we actually played some Path of Exile. So that's a lot of fun still. If you're looking for a Diablo type game, that's definitely your way to go if you really don't want to pay for like Diablo 3, since free is better than not free. Let's see. I actually picked up the American demo for Smash 4 that actually was recently released. Actually, just yesterday on the American eShop. And a lot of changes have happened there for any Smash players out there. And if anyone hasn't played Smash, there are two major changes now. The fact that you can air dodge and then continue to have a recovery animation, so you can actually recover with an actual up B or side B after the fact. And then the actual distance to grab, just to grab ledges, is huge. Just about 2 to 3 times the actual distance, and you'll just grab that ledge. It's a very, very far reach now.
So they've increased. Well, they've increased mobility even more.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Or the fact that you can't edge guard the same way you could before. There are a lot more invulnerability frames during edge grabbing, as well as the fact that if someone is already holding that ledge and you grab it, you knock them off. They cannot hold the ledge against you anymore.
That's the best change.
Yes. But yes, the demo was out. It has quite a few interesting things. I ended up dumping about a good 8 hours into it so I could really learn the mechanics of the new game, which is a lot for a demo. But if you're willing to get it, it is for free on the 3DS eShop right now. It is geared to release, at least in the Americas, on October 2nd. The Japanese release is already out. There's a lot of streams of that going on right now. And the demo is completely free. Let's see. And of course, because I do have a 3DS and I end up having some free time when I'm not here, I actually play a bit of Pokemon because I'm a huge nerd.
Pokemans.
Pokemans.
Yeah, catch them all.
I haven't even beaten the game yet on that file. I don't even have all 8 badges, and I already have a level 100 on my team because I'm a grinding whore.
I haven't played Pokemon since like Red and Blue. Like that's how far removed from that series I am.
Yeah.
Basically me.
Same here, yeah.
Well, I played Fire Red when that came out, but that's basically just red with shinier graphics.
Yeah, it's very true. I was able to actually do a starter Pokemon only run. I played through the entire game with beating everything with only Charmander up to Charizard. Beating the rival at the Elite Four with just Charizard. It was pretty glorious. That and already having grinding up to a Charizard state before I even fought Brock was amazing.
You sound so happy and proud.
A little bit. A little bit.
A little bit.
Well, I say recently, but this is about 6-7 years ago was when I did it.
Oh. Well, that's not
Oh.
recent.
No,
Not even close to recent.
I can't find my that cart anymore. But that is what I've been playing this week. What about you, Cannon? What have you been playing?
Well, since I got back from New York, it's just been really Dark Souls. It needs to be more though. Like it needs to be more shit. We played Warframe earlier, some Shadowrun Returns last night. Gearing up for that pen and paper campaign. I still got to develop some characters for it, but yeah, for the most part, sadly, it's just Dark Souls. Trying to get back into the swing of PvPing with my higher SM tier character and dealing with the bullshit that we know that usually, or most of us know that usually goes down in high tier, high SM tier PvP.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Mike, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little game called Broforce, which is a well, it's a 2D platformer side scroller where you're just shooting a gun. You have to get to the end of the stage, and it is really fun. Like you die as soon as you get hit, but you respawn quickly, and you respawn as a different character every time with different abilities. It's just a lot of fun. Aside from that, I've been just this week I haven't done much playing of. Like I said, speedrun, Aperture Tag, and Portal 2, but I haven't touched those at all this week. Mostly Minecraft sucked me back in. I'm sad to say. Been playing on a modded server and Minecraft.
Broforce is actually really cool. It's a shout out to like the old, or not old, I would say 90s and early 2000s like action movie heroes, and like
Oh yeah.
it's explosions everywhere and epic. If no one's played it, you gotta at least try it out. It's really fun.
Oh, definitely.
There's actually on Steam right now. I believe it's called the Expendabros, kind of a tie-in with Expendables 3, and that's actually free to download. So anyone with Steam should go get that.
The Expendabros. I haven't.
Actually, I need to go get that.
Yeah, that I have got to get that. I think my favorite bro so far when I actually have played is got to be the Snake Plissken bro. Because I was a big fan of like the Escape from New York, Escape from LA movies, and
I was gonna say that there's I'm sure there's very little people that will probably remember that unless they're old fogies like us,
I know.
for the most part. But yeah, those movies were the shit.
Oh yeah, and he just runs around with a sniper rifle that can basically one-shot everything, and instead of a grenade, he uses a Molotov, and he's the only character with a Molotov. All right, Matthew, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2, obviously, because that's the main game that I play. I recently brought one of my older builds up to New Game Plus, so I was just doing co-op with viewers and that sort of thing, getting her up to New Game Plus, and just random PvP streams here and there. Off stream, I've been doing a lot of League, and I've been maining Xerath, and that's basically what I've been doing.
All right.
Nothing much, really.
Well, it's definitely a good time to get back into League with the World Championships going on now.
Love that input, Matthew.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. I concur.
like, have you watched any of that shit at all?
Let me
'Cause,
add
like,
I haven't been keeping up with it as much as I should because I'm mostly a TSM fan. I don't know. I
TSM.
mainly just TSM. I mainly just watch. I try to catch it whenever I can, but I'm usually asleep whenever they do the worlds because they are doing it at like a really awkward hour for North America.
Well, it is taking place in Korea this year.
Yeah, and they've got to appeal to like a global demographic. So
Yeah. Any thoughts about the actual, basically the update that's supposed to be coming out probably at the end of Worlds here? The Darker Summoner's Rift?
the visual update.
Yes.
It makes me think of like Dota. I don't know everything. I don't know if I really care for it all that much, but
well, I think they're finally like I don't play much League at all really, but at least they're trying to evolve with the technology because of the fact that it is an older game and graphically it looks older. So like if you're still gaming on your e-machine shitbox at this point in time, it's probably necessary to upgrade. So it's an evolution of the technology. I see it anyway. So as graphics update is concerned.
Maybe I want to use my old gateway with the old cow box.
Then why are you streaming? How do you stream with that? So, I don't even know.
You see, I just kind of wire everything up with a potato, and they make great batteries. But in case you guys haven't noticed before, I've had a few crashing issues, and that's because I made a baked potato.
That's not going to get any applause from me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
slow cap.
But yeah. So good. Playing a lot of games. Let's see. Figure we can probably walk over to the news, at least what's been happening this week. A lot has been happening. We have the Microsoft buyout of Mojang, so they bought out Minecraft.
Man.
Yeah, I trust everyone has heard about that at this point.
Yeah, that has been going around a lot on the internet.
Yeah.
A lot of mixed opinions.
Yeah. The biggest thing I think is what caught everyone's attention overall is the statement that Microsoft made that it plans to make back that money by Q2 of next year.
I think that statement was taken a bit poorly by some people, like they didn't understand what they meant. Like they're buying Mojang, so they're going to have all of Mojang's assets, and Mojang itself, they're saying, is worth the money that they're spending on it. Not that they're going to make that much net profit by that much time.
Well, I'm personally waiting out for the downloadable content for Minecraft that's like Call of Duty or something like that, where you just get like kill streak bonuses. Like they're just, I don't know. I don't really have much faith in this point in time at Microsoft. I've seen their development studios. I think only like one game that ever came out that Microsoft actually said that they helped develop. Well, one maybe two. But then again, I mean, I haven't really been into Minecraft, and not to say that it's just Minecraft, because Mojang has like several other titles that I'm sure a lot of people just don't realize. Like they have what, Cobalt and
Yeah, Cobalt and
Scrolls, yeah, and I'm sure that they're gonna help further develop it. But you know, what usually when it was an indie company, when an indie company goes and grows up and becomes a big old strong corporation, that usually makes it the production quality, I guess, maybe better but worse at the same time. Like the attention to detail usually goes wayside when it comes down to focusing on how much money can we make off of this.
Right. The thing that I remember seeing a tweet, and I was discussing that with Mike earlier, that was brought up. I can't remember who actually made the tweet, but stated that the only real hope is that they don't turn Mojang into basically a shell of its former self, and just kind of make their own crappy Microsoft game titles. But you know, that's rare.
That's rare. Also, that happened to Ensemble Studios and Lionhead.
Yeah. So
they don't really have.
Lionhead.
In before Mojang presents Connect Sports 16.
It'll be a little Kinect version of an Enderman or something. Like you could talk to, and he could react to you, and he could steal the shit in your house and stuff.
Oh, you mean like Project Spark
I might
and
get that,
the
actually.
Conquer tease?
I think that was a reference to Project Milo that Lionhead was making with Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Snow.
I was just making the reference to the whole that Conquer was the whole teaser for Project Spark at E3.
Oh yeah, that was so annoying. They finally put Conquer on the screen, and then it was just bad.
Exactly.
That you could use him in Project Spark. I mean,
So maybe
I don't think disappointment is a strong enough word.
Pure hatred.
Yeah. The other thing that was mentioned was that got people really kind of hung up was not only did Notch walk away, but the reasoning he gave that was kind of just gave people a lot of mixed feelings, and it's very understandable. He didn't want to be basically the figurehead for Mojang anymore. He had stepped away. He gave the project to Jeb. Thank you. I knew you knew the name, so I kind of just stared at you because I knew you'd give it to me.
Oh, his name's like Jens something, I think, or
Right.
Jens, because that's how they pronounce it. But
So,
yeah, I said Jeb, but I should have said Yeb too. I think is how he pronounces it.
but yeah, so he gave it to him, but yet Notch was still getting all the brunt of any time something would go wrong or if a patch didn't come up to everyone's expectations, and he wanted just to be able to finally walk away from that and get out of the spotlight.
Well, let's be honest. He's not exactly hurting for money, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants at the
This
same
is true.
time.
I think Wikipedia said his estimated net worth was about 1.5 billion.
And
I
he,
need to be his cabana boy or something. I need money. I don't know.
yeah,
You could just cut me a check for 50,000. That'd be great.
it was
Oh,
also
God, yeah.
in the same article. The creator of Rust actually stood by what Notch said and would say if he was in the exact same position, he would do the exact same thing, which makes sense because that he also has that same issue, just that he has Rust and now he'll never be known for anything else he does. Which is probably why Mojang never got real credit for Cobalt or Scrolls. It was just hidden behind the greatness that is Minecraft, or at least the sales that it really brought out.
Oh, let's be honest, neither of those are just as interesting as Minecraft. Minecraft's the biggest game there is right now. It's the top-selling game of all time, I think, aside from a couple games that were bundled with an operating system.
Like
And you
Minesweeper?
take a look at. Oh God.
Soltar. Oh wait, Windows XP Pinball.
I mean, take a look at the other titles that they've released. They are nice, but they're not as flexible as Minecraft. Now, I mean, you can say what you want about Minecraft, liking it or not, but it is very, very sandboxy. So you get the idea of I can make my own adventure. I can just build shit. I can actually participate in pre-made adventures. Like, there's all these mods, and it's so open as far as mod support is concerned that there's no reason for it to not be as big as it is, I guess. Whereas the other games, they're I wouldn't say they're cut and dry, but they're a little bit more simplistic and two-dimensional in comparison to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what else to add.
I'm glad you guys agree. Thank you. I'm gonna retire now on a high note. Thank you, everyone. Fucking
Yes.
out.
I thought
Yes,
Snow was going to
perfect.
talk. I'm sorry.
But that has been in the news, and
Oh.
of course, at the same time, because it is a major thing, of course, it got a skit on Conan. Where I don't know if anyone
I
here
didn't
has
see
seen that said skit. You can find it on YouTube. But what it basically entails is it's Conan in a Steve costume making a strip club out of brick while he dances around in his fake 2.5 billion.
I need to see that.
Oh yeah, it was definitely good.
I'll watch it at some point in time.
Yeah. So, to move on, we'll move on to a subject that everyone would know about at this point. The fact that we all know Twitch was bought out by Amazon. Oh no,
Woohoo.
Amazon gods, no.
When did that happen? I don't know anything about that.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you don't?
Now, the first thing we're going to have to compare it to is the fact that is Amazon the better buyer over Google? I would personally say,
Yes.
oh yes, 100%. Just because Google already has a streaming service in its YouTube streaming and the Google Plus whatnot. And it would basically give it a 100% monopoly, because what would it have to compare to? A Zubu
Hitbox.
or Hitbox, which still at this point are pretty unknown.
Okay, Hitbox, it's funny when all this went down, or rather when the Google rumors were going down, and then Twitch implemented their content ID matching. The speedrunning community was kind of hilarious and was just trying to abandon ship immediately. And Hitbox just got this surge of traffic that brought them down several times. And everybody's saying, oh, Hitbox is great, it's got all this less delay and everything. But even a fraction of Twitch's traffic just completely broke them, so it's not like there's even a good competitor that can handle the amount of traffic. Twitch is the only one out there. Like, YouTube's fine, but how many people can actually stream to YouTube?
Or
Well,
want to.
If you've seen live streaming on YouTube, it's pretty terrible, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because now they make you use Google Hangout, which Google Hangout is pretty terrible unless you're just doing idle conversation.
You mean like this? Oh.
We should use Google Hangout.
No.
Let's,
Yeah.
I don't hate...
Let's hope that Amazon Prime develops something. We can fucking use that, right?
And I'm just going to go kill myself, BRB.
Twitch, please. Give me money, Twitch, please. Oh, God.
But realistically, Amazon is a great company to buy Twitch because they have the biggest farm of servers in the world. So if Twitch could maybe get a few servers out of this, please,
Yeah,
That would be-
we could see just less latency, less Twitch crashing all the time, and everything should just be better.
less jacking with our chat. God, man.
yeah. With all the rat and chat fails, because I'm going to blame the League of Legends streams, because, they get a couple 100,000 people at once, and that
So-
kind of
so-
ruins it.
I don't think
I-
that's terribly fair. I think we should blame Matthew.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The booty
I
is just
mean-
too much.
They only stream for me
Oh.
after all.
The thing that confuses me when League of Legends players are streaming and they have really popular chats, they are put onto a special event server from Twitch, which is separate than the normal chat servers. But despite that, chat still goes down, even like on its separate servers. That confuses me.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the reasoning for that. But thinking of servers, for those of you who don't know, Twitch recently posted on their personal support Twitter, or from their blog anyway, that as of October 1st they are going to be shutting down the Chicago Twitch server. They haven't given any reasoning why.
Specifically, they said that they're shutting down their point of presence in Chicago.
Yes.
Which the only presence they have is their ingest server, as far as I know.
The only thing I could really say is I hope they're closing it maybe because it's a little bit outdated and they're just going to rebuild something from scratch in a centralized location, because most of us here are going to have to find another server to basically stream to.
Yeah, I stream to Chicago. And
That's what I stream to as well.
Yeah. Like we were talking about off air, it's going to add more delay and it's going to be more of a pain in the ass because, I think most of us like to respond to chat as best and as quickly as possible, but when we're working on possibly like a minute or so delay, it's going to be a bitch and it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, very much so.
It's already a pain sometimes with some of the delay that I get. I don't know.
I mean, we're looking at about, just right now, if we're not partnered, and none of us are at this time, you're looking at about a good 20 to 30 seconds at the very least. Whereas you respond to something and you're you have to keep glancing at chat because, well, did it go through yet? Did they get my response? Should I just type it out because that'd be faster?
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's like the thing I like most about Hitbox right now is that you literally have only like 2 seconds of latency for your viewers.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous.
The other thing the other thing that was actually on that blog, on the same page as the fact that they are closing the Chicago server, is that they opened one in Paris.
Well, I guess. Well, I mean, they're trying to. I mean, if you look at the demographics for like who views Twitch, obviously the U.S. is pretty high up there, but they're trying to expand globally.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is kind of understandable. You're trying to cover as many demographics as you can without overextending yourself and earn more money, because the more people that get partnered, the more ad revenue is going to generate, the more sub revenue that's going to generate, and it's just going to help them out in general. So
yeah,
it's a good thing globally. It's going to suck probably for us in the U.S. for a little bit, but overall, hopefully, it'll be better.
Oh, so it can suck like everything else we have here compared to the rest of the world, like internet connections.
Snow. Let's go back in your bunker and hide from fucking society and just no, let's not share anything. America, and grab our guns and prepare for the fucking end.
Yep, I gotta go get my my bald eagle and my flag and wrap myself into sleep. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over freedom.
Freedom is pretty loud.
Yeah.
With
all right.
Swords when you need them.
The third piece of interesting news is TGS or the Tokyo Game Show was actually over this past week, and Square actually announced that it is going to be creating their own cloud hardware, much like Steam and Origin, which they are aptly naming Shinra Technologies.
Because nothing has ever gone wrong for something named Shinra.
Make your joke, Snow. Go ahead and make your joke, because I know you want to.
What, that they're making a cloud and it's named Shinra? But the thing I'm curious about though is why. I mean, it's coming into beta in Japan this winter, and then it's supposed to debut in the US sometime next fall. But the reason I'm curious is, why would they even need it when they already have, say, all the Final Fantasy games already on Steam? Why would they need their own cloud?
Mainly because of the fact that, if everyone and their mother is developing cloud technology like it's some fucking miracle software or something, or miracle hardware. Like it's a marketing thing. Like it literally is a marketing thing. So like Apple obviously has their cloud technology with iCloud, and Steam has where you can back up saves to the cloud and things of that nature. It's just becoming another feature that's becoming more regular because of the fact that everything is wireless, everything is mobile, and everything is on the go. So it's just becoming one of those almost quasi-expected features that we see in technology nowadays.
Yeah, I guess it's just going to end up becoming to the point where it's just going to become oversaturated. And then
It may.
Yeah, everyone's going to start making some kind of a cloud to compete with the other.
Well,
clouds.
that's how like businesses and competitive like technologies stay in business. They develop it first, and then everybody copies them. Like that's pretty much how it works, though. So once cloud technology comes out, then it'll be something else where they just like, I don't know, you'll get augmented reality of your games, or whatever the fuck it may be. It'll just escalate from there, and it won't stop because there's all this competition between businesses and corporations and money, blah blah blah.
well, yeah, I mean, and competition is what sparks new technologies, sure, but when they're all basically just making the same crap over and over again, I don't know. Hi,
It's kind
Beyond.
of like the same situation when the Wii first came out. Whenever they were doing the whole motion sensor thing with the Wii mode and everything, then Xbox had to do it, then PlayStation had to do it. It's basically like the same kind of situation.
And they all have their different aspects, though. So like, obviously we did it with a remote. Which, I mean, it works out okay, but it was honestly a cheap system. Like it was a cheaper system, and then you had because of the infrared, and it sometimes it doesn't pick up as well,
Yeah.
and you can honestly just replicate it easily and take that technology. Shit, I could use it on my computer right now if I really wanted to. And then you got what was the PS Move? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, the PlayStation Move.
The
PlayStation
PlayStation
Which
dildo.
was a controller with accelerometers in it, and then this bright glowing ball on the end that you could also see with a camera
Yeah,
for tracking it in a 3D space.
But the tracking was a little bit better because of the fact that there was this obnoxious light source and shit on your controller, which was very odd and awkward, and it looked oddly sexual for some reason. But regardless, like
I want my PlayStation dildo, please.
but then you got the Kinect, which eliminated controllers altogether. But for whatever reason, they decided to fuck over the technology and have a crappier camera than what they actually tested everything with to make it cheaper and more cost efficient for people. Which I don't know. I think if you would have demonstrated that, the reaction times and the accuracy of the camera would have been better with the better quality camera in it, people would have probably spent the extra $20-$30 or whatever it would have been to, have that in their Kinects. So I don't know.
Yeah, or just like the what is it? The Vita. The Vita has that weird touchpad on the back that's supposed to have motion detection and just that type of technology. As a kind of a copy to the DS and the 3DS. And now we have Beyond replacing Canon. Good job. Everyone say hello to Beyond.
Hello.
Hi, Beyond.
Oh, get her! Get her!
And now we get to watch murder on stream.
Yes.
Oh man.
Probably the first podcast to feature murder. Like real live action murder.
But thinking of actually copying technology, another thing that was announced at TGS, a Sony director spoke with the Wall Street Journal, stating that Project Morpheus, which is their competitor to the Oculus Rift, is about 85% complete at this point. They don't want to really bring it out until it has a good collection of games, but they did have a floor model that you could look at behind a glass case and kind of look, don't touch.
I'm a bit leery about their Project Morpheus the whole reason that the Oculus Rift is taking so long to come out is because they're just putting so much effort into developing good motion tracking and lowering the latency on the display. But if Project Morpheus is just getting slapped together and so quickly, and you said that they're not releasing it because they just don't have any games yet,
Yeah,
like-
that's what they stated. Yes.
that makes me really nervous that they're not properly doing their motion tracking, and that it's just not going to be a good experience. There's going to be latency. It's going to make you motion sick when you're using it.
So we're gonna be
And-
brought back to the Virtual Boy. Project Morpheus confirmed Virtual Boy.
Yeah, although still on the virtual reality topic, have you heard of Google Cardboard?
I have not. What is that?
Google Cardboard is this silly project they came up with. It has just this cardboard case for your phone that you can fold. It has a couple of lenses in it, and you stick a phone in it, and it uses the phone's accelerometers to be like a virtual reality headset thing. I actually ordered a kit for that because I want to try it out, and it was like $5. But again, I've heard lots of reports from people using it that it's just slow and like lurchy, and there's a lot of blur. It's just not a good experience. So that again makes me worry about this Project Morpheus that they're pinning all their dreams on for the PS4.
So you're saying that it would likely be like the next pin on, like just a new attachment, much like the PS
It
Move
kind of makes
or
me think of
like the PSI.
PS Move, exactly. Because the PS Move struck me as being way more of a cash-in on, oh, the Wii's popular, the Wii has motion controls, we must need motion controls to be popular.
Yeah.
When, I mean, the Wii was popular because it was cheap and it had a lot of party games. At least that's what I got out of it.
It has like that anybody can just pick it up and play it
Yeah.
sort of feel to it, like the
Oh man, I'm
casual
having
gamer
flashbacks to
family.
Wii would like to play.
Yeah.
Well, they marketed it to a family. Like they were just like, this is the like the Wii was the family console.
And
So-
it worked.
Yeah, it did.
Sure.
Now, if I can talk about the Oculus Rift or virtual reality again for a second, these movement controllers, I think motion controllers were invented just slightly too soon. Because using a motion controller, so you have 3D tracking of your input, while you also have a 3D display so that you can see what you're doing better, it just seems like it works so much better. I've seen a video of someone playing a modified Half-Life 2 for virtual reality using a PC motion controller. I think it's called the Razer Hydra. And it
Yeah.
was just so cool watching them lean around corners, being able to manipulate their gun and actually look down the sights of the gun to aim.
Shooting like behind their back without even looking.
Yeah, and actually throwing grenades and having them go through a window or something like that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I actually saw the same exact video. It was like a training thing,
Yeah.
like a Half-Life 2 training sequence, and he had the Oculus Rift and the Hydra, and I'm like, I want that so much. It was fucking awesome as hell. Like, it just looked so awesome.
Yeah, and like there was cool UI touches in that too, like having your health on the back of your glove instead of just as this floating thing you can see. And
Yeah, it was definitely a bit more immersive, and it actually utilized every little aspect of the control scheme.
only other thing I can think of is my favorite part of that video was when he reloaded the revolver. He actually had to like flick his hand to the side to open it up and
Yeah.
slide in more bullets with his other hand.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Wow. I haven't seen it, but I'll definitely have to now. That actually sounds really interesting. Thinking of the Oculus Rift, there was actually another thing released in, well, that kind of will affect the Oculus Rift. The new NVIDIA card, the 980. Is it?
Yeah. The new NVIDIA cards, they announced the 980 and the 970, but more importantly than that, they announced their Maxwell architecture, I think is the name of it. And, oh, there's Canon with the link I was going to link just now. No, their new architecture has lower latency for things like the Oculus Rift, which is just amazing, first off. Then they have way better memory bandwidth to start supporting these 4K screens that are becoming more common. So I haven't seen any benchmarks yet, but supposedly it does a lot better than its predecessors on the 4K displays. And they're also doing work for hardware accelerated voxelization of scenes, which that basically means converting the landscape in a game into lots of little cubes. And what they're doing with that is they're doing illumination off that, because then they can draw lines for the light through the scene and see where it's bouncing and make it reflect realistically. It's just really cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
There was a video that they actually showed where they were trying to remake the actual picture of the lunar landing to see if it was actually possible just to create the entire scene as realistically as possible, just using the new engine. And it turned out really, really well, as they kind of just described like the new lighting system. Like if they use just a single light source from the sun, what kind of light would it create? Or they put Neil Armstrong standing there in his spacesuit as the light would bounce off him to create different patches of light here and there. So you could actually see Buzz Aldrin as he's stepping out of the lunar lander. All just with this new engine, which they were able to create in real time.
That video was a bit longer, like drawn out, and
Oh yeah.
not super great, but if anyone wants to see it, I'll link it in chat here. I should have waited like 30 seconds to link it.
So you can feel fancier.
Thanks, Twitch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll be even better when Chicago closes.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait like
5 minutes post-league.
Good God.
let's see. With that being said, actually another thing that was celebrated at TGS, not an actual game per se, but the ESRB. The 16th, it turned 20 years old.
Oh man, happy birthday, Ratings Bureau.
Yeah, I don't care to celebrate that, to be
No.
honest.
But it is
No.
an interesting tidbit.
Well,
I mean,
it
the
could
fact that
be
it has been
worse.
that it has been around just that long, all because of something like, oh, I don't know, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but let's be honest, it's kind of a skewed rating board.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, you could have violence in a video game, but you can't show boobs. Like under the same rating, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Still better than Australia.
Yeah, that's true. That is way true.
And
Yes, that is very
I kind
true.
of feel that if we didn't have the ESRB, that we'd have something worse. I mean, with all the stuff that goes on in the news sometimes about, oh, video games are bad, and this person played games and then they murdered a whole town or something, and there's people who want to put in legislation against video games, but we have this rating system, so we can point at it and say, see, this person shouldn't have played this game, it's mature, they weren't old enough, and blame that and not just video games, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things that people are going to use any kind of excuse to not accept the fact that they're in control of their own actions most of the time. So, blame, like I never understood blaming like music or video games about this, like your own actions. It's kind of fucking stupid.
Well, much like there was a news article a few months ago about a woman who basically let their child die and blamed it on World of Warcraft internet addiction. Which made absolutely no sense. That just means you're a terrible parent.
Yeah, it makes you a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
I'm happy.
I'm just saying.
What thing he pops up with? He's like fucking garbage and just quiets the fuck down again.
It gives
Well, he
people
also trash
like
talked
us.
Twitch.
It makes people like us look bad or something because, like, somebody that's not a gamer is gonna look at gamers and be like, "Oh, well, I remember that one gamer that did that one bad thing," and then it's
Well,
just it's ridiculous.
The good thing for us is gaming is becoming more mainstream. Like among all demographics, it's becoming more mainstream. Either it's quote casual, which you don't really have that anymore. You just have people that play games, and it doesn't really matter on what platform and whatnot. It's just the demographic for people playing games versus the demographic for people that don't play games. It's becoming more narrow because you even have soccer moms playing fucking Angry Birds or what that I don't even Cookie Cutter Extreme on their iPhones, and that would be still considered technically gamers.
BRB, getting my hipster glasses.
And then
Yeah,
you've
pretty
got
much.
Minecraft being actually Minecraft's in a cool place because they're actually using Minecraft in schools, which I've never seen how they do that, but I know they do it, and it's just interesting that they're using a game to teach children things.
You mean not
I guess
Mario
not
teaches typing?
Structure.
Or Math
God.
Blaster?
Math block.
Well, just
Oh,
at
God.
least. How about Mario's Time Machine?
Mario is missing. And I'm going to go kill
Or-
myself.
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Come on. Come on.
Okay, I have to admit, that was actually
That's
a
a good
fun
one,
game.
though. You have to name bad games. Come on.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were naming good games.
Bad rats.
Ban him. No,
You said.
kick
You
him
said
out of
you said
this.
bad game.
Kick him out of this, please.
Bad educational games. Come on.
All right, right.
We also had a lot. With that said, we also had a lot of trailers and gameplay stuff shown at TGS this past week. We actually have a gameplay trailer for Bloodborne. With some interesting news, they're actually going to be sending out very soon for PS4 users alpha invites to basically just test the game out. Swap.
Yeah, that's actually up right now. I tried to apply on a PSN account that I have, and I got in on one. So I don't know if it's for like EU only or it's a select amount of people, but yeah, looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, the stuff that they actually show in the gameplay trailer really shows the fact that they're really making a game this time, or at least, unless of course they screw up the lighting system again for some reason.
I'm not really concerned about the lighting system at this point in time.
Yeah.
I want to care about it. I mean that was one of the main features that was supposed to be in Dark Souls 2 that they cut out. Main feature is supposed to be so dark and gritty and cool.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about just the general gameplay mechanics, and like, if they have a mechanic in place, make up your mind on how it actually works, not just, oh, here's poise, it works, and then you're like, what the fuck does it actually do?
Yes. I am liking the fact with the new switchblade type weapons that they're really showing off. I mean, you have take a weapon and it has two different forms. In the trailer, we've seen what looks like a falchion, a giant battle axe, or at least just a battle axe that turns into a polearm of some sort, a club, and just a giant hammer.
Yeah, the sword to the hammer moveset looks fucking awesome as hell. Like, it just, like, I think Soviet linked an image to me at one point in time, and it just showed you the sword on its own, and then where the sword is basically inserted into the hammer, and the swapping between the actual stances of the sword to the hammer just looks fucking cool as hell. And I actually can't wait to see what kind of combos you can get just from, like, I wonder how in depth they're actually going to go for when it comes to swapping the weapon stances, basically. If you need to do it at certain times, or if you can actually do it at any point in time to change up the combo entirely. Like, I actually really want to see what happens there as far as the combat's concerned. Excuse me.
Oh yeah. I'm also really interested how they're really going to incorporate the guns and the new movesets. I mean, a lot of it we've only seen is the shotgun styles. Are there going to be, are we going to see rifles, revolvers? Or are we just going to be stuck with just this shotgun style?
No, there in other trailers there are different guns. So, like, and I think both of them or all of them have different effects. So, like, you can use one of them to initiate a stun. So you can actually get a riposte on
Yes.
somebody or something like that. So they all have their different effects, and I think that, like, one's going to be used for setups, the other one's going to be used for just literally ranged attack, and I think it'll be pretty cool.
TGS actually did a second video, which I wasn't able to take and really show off here, but they had a 30-minute full gameplay trailer, and if you're interested, you can definitely look that up and find it on YouTube. But they showed a lot of that first area that we had seen in a lot of gameplay trailers thus far, but as well showed off the actual co-op and how that's going to look. We're not going to have the phantom outlines that we're used to at this point. And it looks, from the look of it, it looks like you're actually connecting to just other players entirely. Like you're not like spawning in a different world, much like Demon's Souls and Dark Souls-esque. It's more of a you're just two guys in the same world.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much you zone into this one particular area and a person may automatically be there or something like that, or it may work off of the PlayStation parties. Who knows? Like you could party up with someone and just seamlessly be in their world already. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that there's no like if depending on how the PvP is going to be, it's going to make it even harder to be like, okay, who's the host or who do I have to take out first, or even if even that's a factor, that might not be a factor. Whereas like both could technically be considered the host depending on how they actually do quote hosting in this. If it's centralized servers or something like that, if you take out someone you think is the host, it may not even matter at all. They both can exist on the same server at the same time, so when you take out one person, you're just taking out one.
Yes, that's very true, which could make PvP at least very hard for the invader, or at least very interesting. At the same time, it was also given a release date, a lot earlier than a lot of people expected, coming out February 6th of next year. I mean, Dark Souls just came out this last March, so it's not even going to be out. It's not even going to celebrate its first birthday before, at least for a PC release, or just release at all, before a next Souls game comes out.
Yeah, that's pretty soon for them to be releasing. Like, I guess it's not like a direct sequel, but it's the next game in the Dark Souls sort of line.
So. I guess you can consider it like a spiritual successor rather than anything, because it's not going to be a direct thing, but I think it'll probably be more akin to like Demon's Souls than it would be Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm. And it was worked on by like a different team anyway, so they were probably working on it maybe even before Dark Souls 2 was being worked on, that sort of thing. So it's yeah.
Which is true. I mean, it could be just a better polished game overall. That, nothing against that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But it seems rather weird in comparison. Let's see. What else was actually shown there? We have the Final Fantasy 15 was given a trailer at TGS this year as well. So, and they also confirmed that they are going to be showing a demo in the future. A demo will be shown be shipped out at least for the US with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which would be March of next year, and a demo will be coming out for that, much akin to Final Fantasy 12 coming out with Dragon Quest VIII on the PlayStation 2. The combat that we've actually seen, other than the fact that you're driving a car, I mean, vroom vroom, you're in a car now, but I do like the combat a lot more, at least from a looking standpoint, much better in this than, say, Final Fantasy 13, which, you could basically make play itself. So at least the combat looks and seems more fun at this point. But it kind of just looks like four Japanese city boys just kind of running around traveling the world. So, don't really know anything about a story, but it looks pretty, at least from a gameplay and a video standpoint.
Definitely looks pretty. Looks really nice.
Pretty. So I haven't seen it before, so I'm watching the video right now in your stream.
Oh, of course.
I'm guessing it's still single player, I guess.
Oh yeah, Yeah, 15, as far as I can tell, will still be a single player. They haven't given out any real details other than the fact that it's shiny and pretty. You know, that thing that they do so because it'll likely lack story if Final Fantasy 13 ever said anything.
Yeah, they gotta get the hype going. Gotta get
No, there's going to be a global threat where these two or four boys are going to have to resolve, and there's going to be someone to save, and the end.
Well,
The end.
well, at least that's settled. But yeah, they actually had a playable demo at TGS, but they weren't able to really show or capture much of it. So you're not really going to see much of it until it comes to America in March of next year with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
Sorry, I'm just like watching the trailer. I'm just kind of curious as to why, four city boys are just beating the shit out of wildlife and random people. It's just
Well,
kinda
don't you know, if you're a privileged Japanese rich kid, you want to drive what looks like the African plains and beat up a giraffe.
Yeah, but these guys seem like assholes. Like, I don't
Hey,
want
maybe
to play
you're
it.
playing
Oh,
wanna play as
Final
myself.
Fantasy
I'm trying
15
to
Lightning
get away from
Returns.
that.
There we go. Final Fantasy 15 Lightning Returns. So that is what that is at this time. Speaking of Final Fantasy, though, Final Fantasy 13, which includes 13, 13.2, and Lightning Returns, are all coming to PC later this month. They already are confirmed on Steam. I don't know why anyone in the right mind would want them, but they're there.
Oh man, that picture.
Okay, Final Fantasy 15 confirmed as 4-man's Journey to McDonald's by Sophie.
Still a better plot than.
Still better plot than 13. But yeah, if you're interested in Final Fantasy 13 for some reason, then it is coming to PC just later this month. Regular 13 is coming out, I believe, the 26th is its actual release date. They haven't put 13.2 or Lightning Returns on Steam yet, but they are supposed to be ported as well. Let's see. The GTA 5 PC port was delayed again. Stated that they wanted to make it a more polished version before they decided to release it. Which may mean, as far as we know, it's still going to be running at like 30 frames per second. So I don't know what the thing is.
I just wonder what they've been doing for the past more than a year. I mean, it's going to be like an extra year plus a couple months for the PC release compared to the original release. And I don't really know what they've done aside from make some better shaders and turn up the draw distance. So, slightly annoyed.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't care about GTA 5. The only thing I'd actually be interested in is playing that online, playing with friends, yelling at each other, and running each other over with cars.
To be honest, that is my entire GTA 4 experience.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I did not play any of the single player at all. Like, I literally didn't touch it at all. I picked up my phone, and then, like, as soon as I was able to get into multiplayer, I just started shanking friends. Like, they would have guns, I would walk up to their car, pull them out, and then start shanking them, and then take their car and drive off. That's literally
Yeah.
all I did in that game.
hmm
Pretty much what I did too in Grand Theft Auto 4.
So I don't
The
really
online
expect
was just
GTA 5
so
to be
much
any
fun.
different.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a bigger map and more stuff to do, which if you can do that stuff in multiplayer, just will make it more fun. And GTA 4 was really fun multiplayer. But the single player doesn't interest me at all.
No.
It's
The
just
only
these
thing,
three criminals that,
yeah,
I mean...
the only thing that I had wished that they had put in GTA 5, at least from a multiplayer aspect, was the really staging a crime. Like the thing you did in single player was, at least a couple times, you kind of staged a place out, you staked it, you checked all over, and you planned out a robbery. If you could do that type of thing in multiplayer, it would have been amazing. But it was just kind of a thing they just tacked on. It's like, hey, here's just something you could do in the story mode. Good job. Now let's go back to torturing people. Yay.
I guess the whole premise of the games haven't really changed. It's just basically you're a criminal and you're trying to make it big.
Yeah.
That's the whole overarching story to almost every single freaking GTA. I don't know. It'd be the whole premise. The name of the game is Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it's cool and all, but I don't know. Maybe they could switch it up or something.
I mean, to be
just
honest, at least from multiplayer or at least fun, I'd have to say Saints Row is the better GTA,
Oh yeah, Saints Row.
Yeah.
which is getting another expansion.
Which
Expansion
Oh, yeah,
game, I guess.
yeah, like Saints Row 4 was basically an expansion for Saints Row 3, but they released it as its own game.
But then you got this new
And-
one where they're going to hell.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be its
Saints
own
Row
game, or
5.
is that just an expansion?
I think it's the same thing like with Saints Row 4, where it's going to be released as its own game, but it's more like an expansion.
It's like
And
DLC
it's called-
sort of.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like Saints Row Get Out of Hell is the name of it.
Nice.
Well, the entire
And-
premise is I'm going to punch the devil in the face. That was in the trailer. Like that's what he wants to do. Just walk up to the devil and
mean-
punch him in the face.
I thought it was shoot him in the face, but I like too how it's like in Saints Row 4, Earth was blown up and like aliens came and abducted everyone, and it's like you think, oh my god, this is just ridiculous. You got superpowers. What are they going to do to top it now? And then they came up with something that tops it. Kind of. At least to me, it tops it. I don't know.
Well, it's. I think it's because they can have fun with that whole series because they don't take it serious. Like it's just something that
Uh-huh.
they've been really enjoying, and it's pretty funny. I think it's hilarious. A lot
Oh,
of the
yeah.
shit that they do.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's
have a lot
it's
of fun
mindless
with it.
fun. It is perfect mindless fun.
It's just. You're supposed to have fun too. It's like kind of a feel-good game, I think, where it's not gritty and dark, and there's no big like nastiness to it. It's just go around, shoot some people, and have superpowers or something. Just to have fun, do whatever. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's all gritty. It's like these people are doing drugs, and we've got murders over here, and all these people are criminals that you can't even really like. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like it takes itself a little bit too seriously for what it is. The Grand Theft Auto games. They
Oh
just-
yeah.
That's why personally I thought like Vice City, the Grand Theft Auto Vice City was by far like one of the best ones because it tried to take itself seriously, but at the same time it was just complete cheeseball fun. I mean, you're walking around as a guy with a Hawaiian shirt with these guys with like the most ridiculous accents possible, and you know they're faking it, and you save Phil Collins. I mean, there's a mission where they actually hired Phil Collins, and you're saving him from being murdered for some reason or other. Just because I want the money.
Why would you? Well, I was gonna say, why would you save him? I guess for the money.
Because it's the 80s. You know, when Phil Collins mattered.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna continue that.
Well, see,
I was gonna
as
kill him while he's young.
as far as like celebrities showing up in games too, Saints Row won there too because in Saints Row 3 they had Burt Reynolds.
Yes, Mayor
I
Burt
think-
Reynolds.
So, yeah, I mean, you can't compete with Mayor Burt Reynolds.
That's very true. I mean, that was an amazing cameo.
And
Oh yeah, but Saints Row compared to GTA is a much better game. But GTA 5, yeah. So if you're actually looking to play it, then you're going to be waiting a while again. Let's see. EA released a free game. I believe it's still free if you want it on Origin for some reason. Bejeweled 3.
oh man, I've been
I'm
waiting
looking that
for
up.
that.
Yep,
Let me
let's
just
all
log
get
into
it.
Origin real
Let
quick.
me install Origin.
It's worth it.
Breaking news, everyone.
Yeah, breaking news. But yes, they really hyped it, and they sent out a bunch of ads to try and get people to download Origin for Bejeweled 3. That's the new thing. So
I think maybe they
yeah.
could have picked a better game for that.
Oh, you mean like, oh, I don't know, maybe a new Farmville. Maybe they could just acquire
Uh,
Farmville and take that.
Acquire Farmville.
Yep, just
Does
acquire
anyone
Farmville.
still care about Farmville? I thought that was dead by now.
I have no idea. I don't even
Uh,
use my Facebook account anymore.
Sir, I would have you know that I have I'm a master cropsman. Yeah, and I am friends with 870 people that I have their cows shit in my field every day, sir.
But like
That's a
the
bit
only
too much fertilizer.
I only did one thing with Farmville, and it's because I'm a huge nerd. I remade the farm from Harvest Moon, and then I left it. That's it. That's all I had to do. I remade Harvest Moon, and then I was done there. But with speaking of Origin, Sims 4 did release recently. People are having a lot of mixed views about that game. You know, some people are comparing it how it's just a crappy version of Sims 2. That's been what a lot of people are saying. I mean, it's its own game. I haven't played it myself. I've only seen one person play it, and I believe she's still hanging out in the chat, Sophie. But within the first week of its release, it's been out almost 3 weeks now, but within the first week, it just baffles me that someone out there has already made a mod to take away these sensors so you can see the nude models while they shower. Yeah.
People will be people.
Bunch of birds.
Mathy.
Although that makes me
Mathy.
wonder how that interacts with the anti-piracy measures.
Yes, the anti-piracy. It's actually, I actually find it really interesting, just in the fact that there is they have an anti-piracy. So if the game detects that you are pirating the game, it turns the entire game into that censored mosaic, everything, including the UI. So basically making it a giant unplayable mess.
I mean, that's hilarious and all, but I mean, if I don't know, if you're gonna pirate Sims 4, sometimes I guess I pity that person because you've got way more problems than I don't know, than just a fucking mosaic or some shit.
Honestly, I don't see why you wouldn't just pirate The Sims 3 in that case too.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got
true.
way more content available if you do that.
And
That's
I can
true.
get all 15,000 DLCs.
And you can build a swimming pool.
Oh. And have non-deformed children, because apparently they are still having that glitch in Sims 4. With the children models will just break and become deformed monstrosities.
Oh, that is awesome.
In what way do they become like?
Okay, how about it'll act like they're supposed to grow, but instead it becomes basically it becomes like a deformed alien. Like the entire model will just stretch out, and it becomes a giant artifact essentially.
So what it sounds like to me is that it's loading the animations for the next stage up's like model, but it's not loading the actual model, so it's applying an improper animation.
It's because
that crap. No, that crap is straight up Dead Space. That was fucking horrible.
Oh yeah. The main
Sounds
issue
like a
is
Thin Man.
because the animations exist, but there are no child models. There are no children. They evolved right from babies into adults. So it has the child animations on the baby, and it doesn't know how to deal with that. So you have these, but mommy, I loved you. You're actually growing a T-Rex inside your body, women.
Oh, you actually have a picture of it?
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh my god!
it is it's terrible. It's
Oh, wow.
terrifying.
What the hell?
Mommy, why
That-
won't you
that's
love me?
definitely a thing.
There's more.
There are more?
I don't know if
Oh
I
yeah,
want more.
the worst. I mean, they're terrible. They're all bad.
That's just from Silent Hill or something.
Uh,
God.
but yeah, that is the main issue that they're having right now.
So,
Uh,
did they not let kids grow up in their beta testing of this at all?
Oh my god.
well, initially they weren't going to have children at all in the game. They were going to remove them like swimming pools. But
That one looks like Silent
they-
Fingers.
yeah, but they brought them in anyway.
Oh, salad figures.
Oh my god.
And chat did correct me. It is actually the bone mesh not centering properly to the model. That's the well, at least that's one of the issues. I mean, to create crap like this.
You.
There's a lot of issues there, let's be honest.
Uh,
Oh, my.
but thinking of Silent Hill, a new trailer was actually let out for Silent Hills. More of a gameplay trailer than anything else. And I believe you played PT, correct, Cannon? I mean, I know you did. I'm just inferring.
That is correct.
Yes.
Oh man.
Well, personally, what were your actual personal feelings about PT, though? Like, did you enjoy PT? I mean, other than the frustrating ending. Let's ignore that part.
Well, I mean that kind of adds up to it. I mean the mechanics and it looked pretty. Like the mechanics were good. Most of the triggers were on point, and it looked good, especially for PS4. So I wasn't expecting it to look that polished, I guess. But just over time, how I get, and I probably reached that point a lot sooner than others. I get to the point where I'm just like, okay, it's no longer scary. Let's just finish this shit, or you know what can I do to break it, or whatever it may be. And because of the test, it wasn't because of the ending, where it was so kind of controversial as far as how you actually resolved it. It became more aggravating than anything. I'm excited to see what the Silent Hills looks like. And I know you're playing a trailer right now, but I'm excited to see like if they're gonna retain just first person only, or if you can go to third person at certain times, or like what the gameplay mechanics involved with that would be. But I mean, it looks promising. They definitely established a creepy atmosphere, and you know, it looks pretty good so far.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It looks like a good game overall, but I don't know. It feels like it's kind of going back in, just with the trailer itself. It feels like it's going back into the old Silent Hill tropes, where it's not really scary per se. Just kind of they're like, oh, that's different, I guess. You know, much like Silent Hill. When you look back to something like Silent Hill 2, in its time it was scary, sure, but when you're using models that kind of resemble that same type of disgusting thing, it doesn't really seem like it's really bringing the horror forward.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of, I guess, personal preference. But as far as like what is scary to you, the like gore and shit really doesn't scare me. I really prefer creepiness, like
Oh, yeah.
just a creepy factor more so than anything.
So what I would be interested in is if Silent Hills supported Project Morpheus.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty interesting.
I'm gonna go with nope, nope, nope.
But you normally
I mean,
do
I
so
would
well
play
with
it.
scary games, no?
Oh,
You remember Fear?
you can go to hell, sir. You know better than to bring that up. Okay, story
It was
time.
amazing.
First time I played Fear, and jump scares always get me. You know, it's just a jump scare, and I always have the reaction. There is a section in the original Fear, and I can spoil it. It's been long enough. If you haven't played Fear, well, spoilers. There is a section where you're walking down a hallway. Halfway down the hallway, well, the entire hallway just becomes a giant pool of blood, and you're just kind of wading through it. It's like, oh, okay. Go down, and it's like everything just stopped. I'm like, what? I'm just a teenager when the game came out, and it's like, okay, great. This is nice and spoopy. And walking down, of course, the door's locked, and it's like, I'm standing there. I'm already creeped out just because I didn't know what the heck's going on. I'm just sitting there going, I know she's behind me. I know that she's right behind me. I know this is going to be a thing right now. And I'm just sitting there going, nope. Nope. Turn around, of course, nothing's there. And like, okay, we're done. We're done. I just have to walk back to the other door. And, of course, the moment I almost get to that door, guess what? She's there. And I almost shit myself in front of everybody because I'm playing with friends around as we were just watching the game. And I had my Lucky Brown racing stripe in my underwear at that point.
It was hilarious.
I wouldn't say it's lucky.
Yeah, that's not lucky.
It's like an unfortunate event.
Yeah, but that's my story time, and a lot of people don't, talk. We don't talk about those things. It's just something that keeps being brought up by my friends who just want to see me fail. Yeah, you hear me.
I do hear you.
But I do enjoy scary games. I enjoyed Amnesia. I mean, it got a little annoying after a while, and once you see the face of the actual creature that you're kind of hiding from, you stop caring because it stops being scary. Because the entire point of that was, the entire premise of that game was it was supposed to be creepy and not knowing what's after you. The moment you see it, you just don't care anymore. I mean, he's not scary anymore. It's just now you're just playing a big game of hide and seek. And your goal is to be hide and seek champion. He's got a trophy and everything. I think that's like a special achievement. He gets the hide and seek trophy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad everyone else had anything else to add in there.
But yeah. What's next in the news?
Well, the next thing we actually have is, if we remember, GameSpy shut down a few months ago, meaning a lot of its game on GameSpy Arcade was taken down. You couldn't play them online anymore. Well, recently, Borderlands multiplayer has been brought onto the Steamworks server, the original Borderlands. So if you want to play the original Borderlands multiplayer with friends, you can do so again. Which also brings back possibility, I want to say, because if they're bringing Borderlands back onto Steamworks, what's to say they don't do that with more games, like say Battlefront 2? Because a lot of people still, when that went on for sale at the end of the last Steam sale, people were like, "Oh, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh, I remember this game. It'll be a great time." But then less than a week later, GameSpy shut down, and you weren't able to connect online properly anymore. You had to do a kind of a workaround. So if that were to move to Steamworks, and you could see people playing that again.
I guess it really depends on if there's a huge demand for a lot of people playing it. Because if there's only 10,000, but Valve expects 20,000 to play it, they're not going to support the extra space for it or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's a factor. I have no clue what their qualifications are for, allowing a game to be ported over onto their server structures, so it's beyond me.
Yes, that's very true. But it is something at least you can, for the people who no longer can play at least multiplayer with the GameSpy GameSpy Arcade, it kind of brings at least a glimmer of hope in the future.
Now, you were talking about Steam not laying things down. As far as I know, the only thing Steam would be doing there is hosting matchmaking servers, and I've looked into it a little bit because I want to develop a game at some point, and I don't think they actually charge you for using Steamworks to do that sort of thing, for managing achievements and for cloud storage. Like, cloud storage counts towards the end user's quota on the server. And everything else, I guess they kind of expect that they make up the difference by the percentage they make of your sales when somebody buys the game on Steam. So, the big issue isn't paying to put it on Steam or Steam saying no, it's just how much development work they would need to rip all the GameSpy code out of their game and put in Steamworks instead.
Yeah, that's
Which a lot of companies, they're just like, oh, this game's old and we don't want to deal with it anymore, and they just refuse to put on work.
You mean like, oh, I don't know, Rise of Nations, I believe, ran on GameSpy Arcade?
Rise of Nations is interesting because they actually did what they did with Age of Empires 2, and they did an HD re-release. Though I haven't played it yet, I don't know why, because it was my favorite real-time strategy game of all time. Why haven't I done that yet? Here's Steam.
Alright. Actually, another, we'll shift gears a little bit, because Destiny was released very recently. I know that Canon has been wanting to play it, but, you know, time or the fact that he's a sick man just hasn't really given him the chance to play it. But just afterward, Destiny has actually released its first raid, and was actually completed in 10 hours and 40 minutes by Prime Guard, one of the major clans of the game. Bungie acknowledged this by stating, "Congratulations, Prime Guard, for defeating the raid." The Looking Glass, I believe it's called. It's something glass. But congratulations. Now try it again on hard mode.
And then they all got banned.
For hacks.
But
No, I mean, I'm sure, like, if Crime or Soviet is paying attention more in chat, they could probably speak to it a lot more than I can. I know the raids were something that is like something of a qualifying factor to make Destiny something a little bit more different than just, oh, it's a shooter. Like, there's different things that are almost MMO oriented that you can do within Destiny and make it a little bit more unique, make it a little bit more appealing to a wider variety of people instead of just, oh, I like Halo, I'm gonna play this.
yes, and I'm gonna edit it. And thank you, chat. It is Hall of Glass. My mistake. I'm sorry. No need to bring out the pitchforks. I'm sorry. But
you
yeah,
were wrong on the internet.
yes, I was wrong on the internet. I'm a monster. I need to be put down. Actually, to celebrate the fact that that it was released, that the raid was completed and released and completed, Bungie actually plans on doubling the amount of public events that are happening in the game. And possibly, at the very least, maybe changing everyone's favorite farming spot for decent gear, as the requirements to get into Hall of Glass are very high. I believe you have to be up to, they can call it level 28, I believe? 26 or 26 might be what I'm thinking of. That you have to get up to, but with the level cap only at 20, getting up to that point is very hard. From what, I don't know if you've seen much of the game at this point, Ken, because I know you played in the beta for it. So I didn't know if there's really a whole lot of difference between the beta and the actual release game at this point. At least just from an onlooker standpoint.
I can't really speak to it. That's the sad part. Like, I haven't been able to play hardly any of it at all. I got to level 3, and then I was like, yay. But I know that in the beta, they only allowed you to get to, like, level 8. And I've heard that, like, once you start getting closer and closer to 20, it gets harder and harder to level. Like, there's more of an XP requirement, and you have to start doing harder and harder things to to level, to get the best gear and all that other good fun stuff. So I really just have to play it at some point in time. I may do it later on tonight, I'm not entirely sure, but it'd be nice to be able to kind of experience a lot of this other stuff that a lot of the other people are getting to play, and it was a fun game. I mean, the controls and the movements and the abilities that you got at some of the classes were really, really nifty. But I can't really speak, especially to the end game content this point in time because I haven't really played anything.
Right. A lot of comparisons, especially since Destiny has come out, a lot of comparisons have been brought because robots to Warframe, which is another thing of similar caliber because just because people like robots. And I've seen a lot of comparisons in some way. Could you actually say that you can compare it in some way, like Warframe to Destiny?
I don't really see a massive similarity, to be honest, just because I don't know. And it's like saying WoW is compared to another MMO or something like that. I can't really say that that's an accurate comparison just because of the fact that you're playing robots, but robots are in Destiny, so therefore they're entirely too similar. Like the movement system in Warframe is completely different from this at all. Like there's been sliding in first person shooter games for quite some time now, so it's not like Destiny has has that different quality about it. That's been in the genre for quite some time now, and even though Warframe is a third person shooter, it still has that particular feel. There's a lot of different things involved between Warframe and Destiny, and I don't really think that they're similar at all. There's similarities, yes, but they're not necessarily like carbon copies or anything like that.
Okay. So, talking about MMOs, we can talk about ArcAge. ArcAge was released on the 16th of just this last week and has been absolutely plagued by queue times. Because a lot of people are playing this game. Or at least trying to. Tryon, the company producing this game, have tried increasing their servers. They are coming up to the third time they're trying to increase their server limit. And yet still we're getting massive queue times. I believe I personally tried to play. I got in once during the early morning hours when there wasn't a whole lot of people trying to play. I tried again in that afternoon. Well, actually, just that morning, I still had to wait over an hour and a half to try and just get in. I was only able to play for a half hour. That afternoon, I tried again, and the queue was over 4,000, and I was looking at about 4 to 6 hours, and I just gave up. I believe you had a similar experience as well, Cannon?
Yeah, I decided to try to queue last night, and for whatever reason, the servers farted and kicked me out of queue. Tried immediately this morning, and I'm actually still in queue right now, and it's like could be more than an hour, so it's just it's like whatever. Yeah, okay, does anyone know if founder packs actually get priority? I'm assuming they do. Like I'm assuming like people with sub and founder pack actually gets priority in the queuing system. If not, like what the hell is going on? Like I don't understand what's going on with the queue system then.
I would expect so. I mean, people who bought the Founders Packs are already getting a lot of stuff that I don't think they really need. The thing that really annoyed me was the fact, hey, buy a Founders Pack and get additional attributes on your characters. That annoyed me to no end. Just the fact that buy a Founders Pack and automatically have a leg up. So giving them also priority wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
I think end game it's not really gonna matter, but yeah, when it comes to like starting off, that like people are gonna have a lot easier time if you're subbed or have a founders pack, and they try to balance and weigh it between having a convenience factor involved, which a lot of free to play MMOs do that thing nowadays where they want to make it not necessarily about like a permanent benefit, just a time saver.
Right. So yeah, we're looking at. I mean, it's still only the first week. A real MMO doesn't really get a good pan out, or at least get stable until about its first month. But when people just can't play, it's going to really hurt them, at least in the long run. So hopefully, maybe someone will finally get in, or maybe sometime this century, you'll get past the queue.
Never gonna happen.
Another thing that was brought up with MMOs is World of Warcraft is doing another name repo, meaning characters that haven't been played in a certain number of time or just didn't reach a certain level. Like, oh hey, I've got like 15 alts that only I made the character and never leveled. Well, they may get deleted to open up name slots for other players. So you who out there who wants the 420 yellow swag character on whatever server, well, that you may just get that shot.
No, you can't take it. That's mine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've already reserved it. You can't even have Mountain Dew for Life, Doritos Extreme. You can't have that one either.
Oh, I should have known. The other thing that is happening with World of Warcraft is they are celebrating their 10th anniversary, 10 years of World of Warcraft, which is a long time. I mean, a game that's been around and that popular for a decade. To celebrate, they are actually going. Blizzard has announced a new battleground, which is going to have 2 different queue types, up to 91 through 99 are going to be all together, and then level 100s will have their own. But it's going to be reminiscent of old Terran Mill, which is just going to be a giant battleground of just a battle arena, which is going to be on its own server by itself, but it's going to be 100 versus 100, which I think is going to be absolutely insane, as well as just the fact is, who in their right mind is going to get want to queue for that with 99 other people at the same time?
I seriously doubt it's going to be all preform. Probably won't allow all preforms. Just
No.
I mean, it's been like that in the past, but yeah, there's going to be people that want to queue for it. I haven't played WoW in forever, so I don't even know remotely what the PvP is like anymore.
Right.
I don't really care to know anymore, to be honest.
They are also reopening Molten Core and returning that into an old 40-man raid all over again at current max level, which can net you a Corehound mount, so the beast as a mount himself, as well as the Molten Corgi.
Oh my god, are you fucking serious?
I am not. They've been hyping it for a while, and it is a pet that you can get in the new redone Molten Core. The Molten Corgi. Which is the cutest thing you've ever seen, but oh my god, it's I can't even imagine.
I'm glad I left. Just put it that way.
I'm glad I never started.
Well, puberty's a hell of a thing, Matthew. You'll get there one day.
I'm talking about World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
The Molten Core is actually going to be given to you automatically when you log into the game. That is going to be the 10th anniversary prize for logging in.
Oh god.
So everyone can run around with their Molten Corgi.
So you're not going to be special. You don't have to earn it. Come on.
But
casual.
Yep, casuals. Back in my day, you had to do attunement.
Back in my day, you had a hunter quest for the best hunter staff and bow. Damn it, I still miss that.
Uh-huh. I remember I really hit my stride back in Burning Crusade when I played. And hey, guess what? I want to do I can't remember the name of the raid. But you have to do this dungeon to get this item, then go to this dungeon to get this item, then go to this dungeon to get this item, so you can make the key.
Oh, yeah. What are you? God, man, it's Black. No, it wasn't
No.
Blackwing Lair, was it?
No, not Black. Well, there's also the attunement for Black Temple. But that wasn't it. Oh, I know the moment I go, we move on, that the chat will remind me.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah,
That's all right.
I mean, it was a good instance, but it's like that's where I really hit my stride, and I could go on and on like how 4.2 was the best patch Blizzard ever came out for Warcraft because I leveled as a tank, and being able to actually level as a tank was made possible.
Bro, CS 1.6, get on my level. Come on.
Karazhan, thank you, chat. Kara.
Oh, it was Cars. Yeah. Whatever.
But the thing they are actually supposed to be bringing back in the new expansion, Warlords of Draenor, which is supposed to release this fall, this holiday season, is attunements for raids all over again. We'll be going back to that time of you have to attune for everything. As well as the fact you will have to, in order to just queue for raids, you're going to have to prove that you can do DPS or you know how to do your job. I know.
That's pretty funny.
They added a test system or a proving grounds they called it, and you have to get at least a silver or gold in order to queue for raids in Warlords of Draenor.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
It's really funny how they went from like, okay, so it's WoW's going through cycles where it was basically, hey, okay, we're gonna start off and only quote hardcore gamers they have to basically be able to raid and do 40 mans and all this other crap, and then they made it so, like, in my opinion, this is all opinionated by the way, then they made it so like all the classes eventually are basically quote streamlined. They made them less diverse and honestly like too simple for my liking, where you go down, you pick what tree you want to go down, and that's all you get to go down. If you've played WoW recently, that's pretty much how it is. It's very akin to like the Diablo 3, I guess, like skill system or spell talent system, whatever you want to call it. And now they're going back to, okay, well now we're going to have to say that if you're going to be doing any good in this raid, then you're going to have to test for it. It just seems kind of weird that they're going from, okay, we're going to start off as, quote, hardcore, then go casual, then go back to hardcore, but with a casual undertone. It's really kind of bizarre. I don't really see what they're going for there as far as that mechanic is concerned.
well, the thing that they actually added, which makes no sense to me, is since they added the queue for raid system, which is just like the looking for group system, which was a godsend when that came out. I love just sitting in trade for like 3 hours, looking for 1 DPS for Black Fathom Deeps. For like 3 hours. But the thing they changed the difficulty scaling. They added another tier below above the regular looking for raid, which is the special one you can queue for if you're a special gold member or whatever you want to call the Proving Grounds gold players. Which is, like, oh boy, I get a little bit better gear, which looks like the exact same. So it's kind of it's just one of those, how big can you make your E-Peen? I think at this point. How big can you make your virtual E-Peen?
Really big.
Matthew would know.
Huge.
So that has been a lot of things that I've been having, at least with the MMOs this week. Another thing that actually came out was just the porting of Minecraft. I mean, Microsoft will be porting Minecraft on the Xbox One. I mean, that's already been confirmed and released. Later this month, they are going to be putting on the PS4 as well as on the PlayStation Vita. There was an interesting tweet out by Sony. You were telling me about that, Mike.
No, it's not by Sony. It's a parody account of Sony's CEO. Let me just find the tweet really quick because it's hilarious. It said, Mojang still plan to release Microsoft. I can't read it today. Let me try one more time. Mojang still plan to release Minecraft Vita, meaning Microsoft now has more big-name PS Vita games planned than we have.
Ah.
And
so, I mean, Minecraft at this point has already been brought on mobile devices. I mean, it has a PC version. There's a Mac version out there. It's coming on it was on the PS3, on the 360. Now it's on the Xbox One. It's like all it needs now is a Wii U version to bring out everything. Yes, Minecraft mobile. So it's like all I need is like, well, now I need Minecraft on a 3DS or Wii U, and just complete the cycle.
I just want Minecraft on my TI 86, and I'll be perfectly fine.
Of course, of course. Uh, but that is actually going to most likely. I want to double. Yes, that's actually going to do it for our news portion for the day. From here, we're actually going to talk about some game releases that are going to be coming out in at least the near future, or at least maybe released this week that maybe someone may be interested in. Anomaly 2 released for the PS4 on September 16th. I'm not sure what that game is. We have Arcade. Cooking Mama 5 Bon Appetit was released on the 16th
yeah.
for the 3DS.
Everyone better be going for that one.
Oh, of course.
That's my jam.
Let's see. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution released for the PS3, 360, and PC on the 16th.
I'll give them credit for actually releasing a fighting game on PC, but I don't know, I felt like they've been going downhill since Storm 2.
I can't even remember. I don't remember playing it. Okay, I get Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call on the 3DS was released on the 16th.
I don't know what that is, but I want it.
Okay, let's see. Everyone's probably heard of like games like Osu or Donkey Kong Beats, Elite Beat Agents. It's a rhythm game, but with Final Fantasy characters.
Okay, never mind.
That was quick.
Tropico 5 for the Mac and Linux was released on the 19th. So if you want to play that, go right ahead. Wasteland 2, the Kickstarted sequel to the original Wasteland, which was released on the Commodore 64 years ago, came out Friday. That's on Steam. If you
A
want
little bit of nerd knowledge. Pretty sure that came out before Fallout, like the original Fallout. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Fallout was, I guess they lost rights to the Wasteland property maybe, so they had to make a new game and they just made Fallout, which is basically Wasteland but not quite as good. I think. I'm looking it up now because I'm probably talking out my bottom.
But we know that their move to Interplay was probably the best thing they ever could have done.
Let's see. Our No Surge Ode to an Unborn Star on the PS3 will be coming out the 23rd. I think that's another one. It's from what it sounds like, I think that's the very Japanese RPG, the JRPG. Another one coming out for the PS3. Disney Infinity 2.0 Marvel Superheroes is coming out on the Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, Wii U, PC, and iOS on the 23rd.
Wow, really? On the iOS too?
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, you have something? Did you find it? Did you find your release date? No? Okay. FIFA 15 on the Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3, and PC on the 23rd. So, soccer or football. So my UK
let's
friends
get it
stop
right.
yelling at me.
Yeah, football.
It's league
Come on.
football. Stop calling it soccer.
I will call it what I want. Gauntlet. The new Gauntlet on the PC will be coming out on the 23rd. Slender the Revival is coming out on the PS3 on the 23rd and the 360 on the 24th.
No, I'm tired of fucking Slender games. I am sick and tired of those stupid games.
I'll agree with that.
We
Stop making them. That would be great.
Yeah, let's find five notes while playing hide and seek. Okay, I'm sick and tired of that shit.
Oh yeah. Wii Sports Club on the Wii U. So a Wii Sports for the Wii U is coming out on the 25th. So that might be the next thing you want to play for all you Wii users, for the family. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal World Duel Carnival is coming on the 3DS on the 25th.
Now you're just making up words.
I just want to challenge people to a children's card game on motorcycles. But that's the wrong season, I guess. I don't even know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. I used to be into it a long time ago, but I just don't have a clue anymore. We have Hyrule Warriors is coming to the Wii U on the 26th. So, Dynasty Warriors Zelda game. If you like your... if you want to actually go after that...
It's actually already been out in the EU since the 19th and in Australia since the 20th. One of my friends has been streaming it. So I haven't stopped by to watch yet.
He's a hacker.
No, he just lives in Australia. He's got enough problems. Let's just give him this.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see here. What else we have? Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. So basically the Persona 4 fighter as like their ultimate version is coming on the PS3 and 360 on the 30th. So, another anime-esque fighter made from Arc System Works. So, you've got your Guilty Gear style game. So that can still be fun, and it's only on the older system, so on the PS3.
It's a bit strange.
Well, they've been hyping this game, the Ultimate version, Ultimax, for quite a while. One last thing I do want to talk about before we finish with releases. The 24th will be the final DLC, the Crown of the Ivory King for Dark Souls 2. Which, since the majority of us here are talking about play Dark Souls 2, I think there can be at least a little bit of hype for that.
Yay.
Matthew, that's your cue to do things.
How about you talk about something for a second? Ice Crown and
I'm
stuff.
excited about it. I wasn't too impressed with the first DLC, but the second one kind of renewed my hopes in FromSoft's ability to actually make a decent DLC. Aside from Smelter, but, pretty
Smells.
excited. But, yeah, Blue Smelter. Yeah. They just painted him blue and then put him in the DLC area.
I'm really excited to see how crappy the hitboxes for the unarmed attack moveset is going to be.
The Heihachi moveset.
Yeah, pretty much.
The one thing I don't get is that, well, now we know that it's a ring that changes the moveset on you, not like a weapon or anything, which I think is really weird.
Well, it was bound to be a ring. I mean, it made more sense as a ring. You have vanquishers, you have all this other stuff. That allows you to just, power stance regular fists, so there's no real reason to have a weapon there. I don't know. It's just, it's got a really wonky hitbox right now as far as what we're seeing in random PvP, so, yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
What?
Oh, rip the call.
Oh, okay.
Rip
See,
Supreme.
4 hours. I told you so.
Well, that's annoying.
Oh well.
Okay.
You broke it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. And this is why I have premium. I could have hosted beyond this, but my connection's terrible.
Oh yeah.
But okay. Ivory King looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, personally. I mean, I like how it looks. The actual buildings that we see in like the screenshots and trailer are very familiar and remind me a lot of like the Lordran stuff. So from a lore aspect, I'm very interested in what we're going to see. At least personally.
Smoke final boss confirmed.
Yes, smoke confirmed.
No, it's just gonna be Smelter Phase 3, and
Oh no.
yeah, that's.
Oh,
that's just
he's
it.
going to be
It's
he's going to be purple.
Smelter Demon in Smo armor. Call it
Smoter.
Smoter.
Smoter Demon.
So yeah, there's that. Another thing that was mentioned, and we don't have to really do anything with that, is is that Bayonetta had a cosplay trailer that was showing up. I mean, it looks goofy as sin. I mean, let's be honest. It looks.
Oh, it was goofy.
Oh yeah, I mean, just the fact that, hey, guess what? It's on the Wii U, so that means cosplay. Yay?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, that's really the only other interesting thing that I've seen thus far. I mean, there are a few cool-looking things about it, but otherwise I'm not too hyped about it. I'll be perfectly honest.
I'm just watching in amazement.
The only thing I really like are like a couple of the additional effects, much like how wearing Link's tunic means that killing things, they drop rupees instead of like the orbs or whatever they normally drop. They'll just drop rupees. I mean, it looks hilarious. And it's really just kind of a cash grab at this point, but it does. It looks absolutely hilarious.
Samus.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My favorite thing actually is right about here. She's dressed as Princess Peach, and there is an ability that she uses that kind of is supposed to conjure things like that, but instead it's Bowser's fist. Also, short skirts. But yeah, that's the new trailer, the cosplay trailer for Bayonetta 2. So, get hyped, I guess?
Yay, cosplay.
Yeah.
I mean, there are worse things they could have done.
Yeah?
She could have been dressed up like a Mountain Dew can or something, or a bag of Doritos.
Pepsi Man.
I'm sorry, I said
Oh, wait.
worse, not
Cosplay as
best thing.
Pepsi Man.
Yeah,
Right.
worse, not better.
Sorry.
But yes, I guess that's actually we're going to be coming to our close here. So I'd like to really first I'd like to thank our host for showing up today and being a part of StreamCast with me this afternoon. And please feel free. Where can they find you if they want to see more of you?
The internet.
Wow.
In space.
Space.
Well, Nightpod just posted all of our channels. You guys can check us
Yeah.
out there. Most of you already know by now, but if you want to follow each and every one of us, I'm sure we're going to be grateful. I have no camera anymore for whatever reason because I was added in pre-4 hours to this call. Thank you very much, Snow. You were awesome. So I am now a spinny little busy dot sign thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not a circle.
That's not how
It's
I
no
normally
different
look.
than
I am
normal.
not that gray, but yeah, I will see you guys around.
But yes, feel free to follow these amazing people who are happy, who were nice enough to join me today. We're going to, if you're actually interested in either rewatching what we're doing here today, or at least just rewatching the cast, we can rewatch the broadcast here, as well as the fact that we will be posting this on YouTube in the near future. So, I hope to see you all again. We'll hopefully make this a normal thing on Saturdays every week. You can catch me at this channel normally Monday through Friday, where I do a Dark Souls build craft, where I have my viewers vote on a build every week, and then I run it start to finish through in Dark Souls to really see how it would fit in a PvP aspect. Fridays we run whatever really Stream wants me to run, or just play. We've been playing PoE, Dark Souls 2, because you guys just want to see me just kill myself. But yeah, that's what we do most of the time here. Does anyone have anything that they want to add today?
I can't think of anything.
Wow, I
Just
have
kinda getting set up.
I have just
I'm gonna.
wonderful people. Just wonderful people.
Yeah,
just hanging
Matthew,
out.
would you like to add anything? Huh? Matthew?
Matthew.
No. Fine.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
Shut it.
Oh, I guess he's no longer a dot. He's now a faceless man.
No longer.
Yeah.
Screw
Screwed.
it, man.
But yes,
Rip.
thank you for joining us today for Stream Talk, and I hope you all have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or morning, depending on where you are. And we will all see you later in the near future. You take care now.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, nerds.